Good evening, everyone. Welcome back once again to Vicious Rants. And of course, I am your host, your YouTube Messiah of Limited, never duplicated Superstar Tim Vicent. Gonna go over Raw this week was in SLC, Salt Lake City, Utah. Now, unfortunately, Heroin Bob did not make a guest appearance on the show. If you get that reference, you're awesome. Now, before we do, I do want to address something real quick. I mentioned it last week, and it became official. As of last week, Tuesday morning, WWE officially merged with Endeavor to make TKO Industries. So UFC and UFC and WWE are now under the same umbrella. And, you know, it's, again, never in a million years did I think in my lifetime I would ever see WWE get sold. Did I think it would happen? Yes. Did I think it'd happen in my lifetime? No. But it did. And a lot of people are speculating, well, we're going to see this, we're going to see that, we're going to see this, that, and blah, 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 blah. Here's the cold hard truth, kids. And this is coming from, I'm not saying it comes from experience, having done mergers or been part of them and all that, but this comes from studying from the past. You're not going to see changes until maybe the next 3, 6, very latest a year into the merger. And I'm not talking stuff on TV, you know, like, let's just say for the sake of argument, you know, you got UFC and WWE. They both have 20 people working HR. There's no need to keep that many people on the payroll. So they're going to go over and start doing cuts. Is it a cold hard truth? Yes. Is it sad? Yes. But this comes with business, you know? No different than if you're working at McDonald's and if it starts and you start going into a dry spell. If that store starts going into a dry spell, they're going to slash hours. You know, their best burger flipper could wind up being told, hey, Bob, listen, we don't need to have you on 6 days a week like we normally do. We can only keep you on for 2, 3 at the most. I'm sorry, man. You know? Or to the point to where they shut down altogether. Is it a shitty analogy? I know, but that was the best one I could think of right at the moment. So, either way though, not going to see nothing until like maybe 3, 6 months, maybe even into a year from now. You want to talk about, you know, so yeah, that's the cold hard truth. Now, with that said, now that that's gotten out of the way, let's switch gears, talk about last week via the SmackDown Rewind and the big highlights from last week's SmackDown. The show started off with Pat freaking McAfee returning. Pat McAfee came out, got a great ovation. I absolutely love the fact on how Corey Graves was like, no, oh, come on, no. And contrary to all popular belief, and not contrary to popular, but despite going against what the norm is out there on the interwebs, yes, I actually like Corey Graves' commentary style. I dig it. And it's not just because we're both PA kids, even though we are, you know, but either way, yeah, I dig it. McAfee came out, started talking about, hello Colorado, it is so great to be in their beautiful state and sharing in your recreational laws. I'm sure RVD enjoys those laws as well. Moving forward though. Then, as he was saying that, out comes Austin Theory. Theory then interrupts him, talks about on how McAfee's a joke, blah, 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 and then says on how it's the Austin Theory show, and then Mac said, whoa, hold up. You want to? This is not the Austin Theory show. No. This is the People's Show. And you know what that means. Long drawn out silence. Then you hear, if you smell, oh my God, The Rock. The Rock came out. Holy fucking shit, did not expect that. Rock came out, damn near thought the roof was going to blow off the joint. Rock got a great ovation, got into the ring, didn't even start out with finally, just looked at him and was like, shut up, you little bitch. Like, oh, damn. And then Rock started going into him. Theory tried to step up, which Theory trying to go one-on-one with Rock on the mic is, well, that's about as good as you would expect as seeing like a 12-year-old going against Mike Tyson in his prime. Yeah, it was not pretty. Rock cut him down too short to shit, and he literally had the crowd in his hand, much like The Rock always does. He had one half chanting, you're a, and then he had the other half chanting, an asshole. You're a asshole. You're a asshole. Going like that. Yeah. No way around that. Then it ended when Theory tried to take a swing at Rock. Rock caught him, hit him with a spine buster, and then dropped him with the people's elbow, and then let Pat McAfee go and drop his own people's elbow on him. Oh, beautiful segment. Chef's kiss. Perfect. Picture fucking perfect opening segment to SmackDown. So as far as matches go, highlight big matches that happened. AJ Styles had a match against Finn Balor. Great, good, really good match. I dug the hell out of it. It came to an end when Jimmy Uso ran interference and helped Finn get the win. Backstage they showed Jimmy talking to Finn saying, or Jimmy coming up to Finn saying, hey listen, I only did that because you helped me out last week. So as far as we're concerned, we're square. You know, you don't owe Judgment Day, don't owe Bloodline nothing. Bloodline don't owe you nothing. We're square. Alright. And then Finn saying, now listen, I know we were talking on Monday trying to recruit your brother into joining Judgment Day. But what if we have both Usos into Judgment Day? And then Jimmy just shrugs it off and walks off. Then we had the LWO in the ring. Santos Escobar congratulating Ray, thanking him for stepping up to do what he couldn't when Theory took him out for the U.S. title. And then, in a very, very nice way, said, Ray, I want a shot. You know, not in a you took my spot and I want my title kind of way. No, listen, I appreciate what you did for me, man. You took my spot when I couldn't. I love you for that. Thank you so much. Now, with all due respect, I would like to get my shot at that title now, if I could. And then Ray just like, no, really? You want a shot at my title? Nah, man, listen, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I'll give you one. And then out come Bobby Lashley, the almighty Bobby Lashley, forgive me, and the Soup Profits, or Street Profits, you know, gotta say their soup game's pretty on point. But then Bobby pretty much saying, listen, Bloodline is all sorts of whack. So, as far as we're concerned, we are running things here. And then LWO, it was Joaquin Wilde and Cruz del Toro saying, yeah, LWO don't roll over for no one. You don't get to go and interrupt us like that, dude. You got a problem with the LWO? Bring it. Step on up. So then we lead to Joaquin Wilde and Cruz del Toro going against the Street Profits. Decent match. Much to no surprise, Street Profits got the win. Yeah. Then we had L.A. Knight. Yeah. Dummy. Yeah, let me talk to you. Going against Miz. Really good match. Really liked on how this one played out. L.A. Knight got the win. Again, I could see a lot of people are saying, oh, they need to put the title on, they need to put the title on, they need to put the title on. Do I think he's champion material? Oh, good God, yes. Kidding, I was cheering for LA Knight being world champion even back when he was in TNA, and I was over the moon when they made him world champion there. But here's my thing. Make him chase after it, because the chase is going to make that win even more worthwhile. That's the thing. Not only that, and this is the part where I thought it and it made sense in my head, but I didn't articulate it out loud. He's not the one to beat Roman. I see him being the guy that beats the guy that beats Roman, but not the guy that beats Roman. Who's the guy that beats Roman? We don't know. It's when creative feels, yeah, we're ready to pull the plug on Roman and have him drop it. You know, that's that, plain and simple. No different than what TNA did with Samoa Joe's undefeated streak. So, either way, after the night match, then, we had Asuka going against Bayley. Sorry, Freudian side slipped out. In a match, and this was definitely one worth watching. Match came to an end when Shotzi showed up out of nowhere, scared the hell out of Bayley, and then Asuka got a quick win off of that, and then yeah. So then the closing segment for SmackDown was the Grayson Waller effect with John Cena as the guest. When Cena sits down, Waller automatically digs into him. You know, I grew up, growing up, elders always took our caps off at the table, but it's okay, mate. And then starts talking about on how Cena's washed up, he's not willing to compete anymore, and that was proven to the point when he chose to be a guest referee and all that jazz. And Cena, not saying what word, his facial expressions showed it all. Just going from normal, plain Jane poker face to me mugging like, this motherfucker really gonna try and talk shit about me? Right in front of me? And just sitting there, giving him a 1,000-yard death stare. Rips the shirt off, winds it up, throws it out to the crowd while still locking horns with him. Easy, easy there, man. Hey, easy. I'm not meaning nothing by it. I'm just saying. And then out comes Jimmy. Jimmy Uso gets John's in face saying, hey, listen, nobody wants you here, John. Nobody wants you here. Just go. And as he's doing this, Solo then comes out with Paul Heyman. And then Solo gets in Cena's face. And as he's in Cena's face, just like that, next thing you know, boom, grabs Jimmy. Looks like he's about to go and hit him with the smelling spike. And then wham, pops Cena with a super kick. And then they start doing a beatdown on Cena. AJ Styles then comes out, helps save the day, and actually, instead of beat up John Cena, now he saves John Cena. So, that was it for the SmackDown Rewind. So now with that said, let's get into this week's show. Raw SLC. Unfortunately not SLC Punk, but either way. It starts out with Cody coming out. So, Salt Lake City. What do you want to talk about? Now last week I tried to talk about this, but I got interrupted. But in regards to Jey Uso, then Dominik's music hits, interrupts him. Dom then comes out to a cackle of boos all over, talking about on how Mommy's not there because Nia Jax injured her, and then they said later on in the night, Rhea's got bruised ribs, so that's why she's not there tonight. But excuse me, Dominik wound up pretty much blowing a bunch of smoke up his own ass, saying on how Judgment Day, they're on top, they're trying to bring Jey into the fold, their family, this, that, and the other. They also hyped up the fact that next week, Dragon Lee from NXT is going to have a match on Raw against Dominik Mysterio for the North American title. And this is a big week for Dom. Or not a big, but a busy week for Dom because, well, coming up we have Cody versus Dominik. Then Tuesday night on NXT, Dominik versus Carmelo Hayes. And then Sunday, got Dominik defending the North American title against Mustafa Ali. And then that Monday, got Dominik defending the title again against Dragon Lee. And just, wow, man, that is a lot to go on. And that's not even including the regular touring. Just like, dude, that's... Man, whew. Kid can go. But either way, they went back and forth for a bit on the mic, and then they proceeded to go and then they started up the match. Cody, he was pretty much leading the whole way through. At a little bit after the bell rang, or not a little bit before after the bell rang, but before the match started, sorry, brain fart, Finn and Priest came out because Dom talked about on how Judgment Day is family and on how they're his family. So yeah, then they came out. But either way, like I said, Cody pretty much led the whole way. He got the win doing the cutter and then the crossroads. And afterwards, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens came down to help save Cody, and then they had a 3-on-3 stare down, and Judgment Day was like, nah, fuck it. Ain't worth our time. Let's go, boys. And so they left. And then as Cody's leaving, Owens gets the mic. Whoa, Cody, come back here. We need to talk. So then goes and says, now listen, just want to know, why bring in Jey Uso? Because I will trust you. I will trust you, Sammy. But him, I won't trust him. You know, and Sammy pretty much trying to step in. Listen, I'm not saying to forget. I'm not saying to forget. But I'm saying to forgive. And Owens pretty much like, so okay. Okay, so you want me to just act like you shouldn't have won the Universal title off of Roman at Elimination Chamber. Alright, fine. You want me to do that? I'll do that. You want me to act like you shouldn't have already beat Roman at WrestleMania. Alright, fine. You want me to do that? Act like I shouldn't have won the title off of Roman at least a good 5 times if it wasn't for Jey. Much like you... Okay, fine. But you know what? I'm not going to trust the guy. So, no, that's it. And he just left it at that. So, I get that, and that's, God bless, one of the great things about pro wrestling. When it's real and you can actually relate to the story, my God, is it good. And this is where it's good right here, because it is so damn relatable. Because, let's be honest, show of hands, how many times have you had to work with or be around people you're willing to work with, but you know, you're like, you know what? I don't trust you. I'll work with you, but I ain't gonna fucking trust you. And you know, that's it, plain and simple. We've all been there. Just, yeah. So, next up we got Kofi Kingston going against Ivar. This came to be because they showed a vignette saying Erik wasn't able to compete. They were supposed to have a 2 out of 3 fall match tonight. So, Kofi then suggested, well, what about Ivar? He's free, right? And then Kofi and Woods did rock, paper, scissors, shoot to see who would win. Kofi won. Never underestimate scissors, folks. And so, as far as this man, okay, listen. Only reason I know this is because I've listened to interviews and podcasts and shit, because I am that kind of a wrestling nerd. And Ivar was actually one of Kofi's teachers, one of his wrestling teachers. So this was just knowing this, all I could think is, man, these two have to be fucking tickled pink doing this in a WWE ring in front of the world, huh? I know I would have been, but Really nice start. Kofi leading the pace, and then he starts leading the pace. Leading the pace post commercial break. Erik wound up. Erik though, man, dude can fucking go and put on. Showed up, and you know, my God, wow. I really recommend you go and watch this match. This was something for to watch. Kofi got the win doing the Trouble in Paradise, but yeah. Next up, we got Shinsuke Nakamura going against Ricochet, and this came to be because when Seth called out Nakamura last week, Nakamura beat up Ricochet and was like, Seth, we'll fight when I say we will. And left it at that. Nakamura came out, in the middle of his entrance in the ring. Then Seth comes out, Adam Pearce and officials, they shoo him away. Nakamura's just like, okay. Out comes Ricochet, and then Nakamura just leading and grounding Ricochet. Really good, solid match, you know. And it was even noted during the commentary. Nakamura, he was not trying to just go for a win. He was just trying to go and send a message and give an ass whooping. Match eventually, on how the match comes to an end, it eventually leads to the outside. Shin, he has a chair in his hand. Looks like he's got it ready to go and cock back to swing. Ricochet kicks him, takes it off him, and then wham, cracks it over him. Ref calls for the bell, match is over. DQ, disqualification finish. Winner by technicality via disqualification, Shinsuke Nakamura. However, Nakamura then capitalizes, uses the chair, attacks Ricochet's ankle, leg, starts inflicting massive amounts of pain on him. Seth Rollins comes out of nowhere, starts trying to do an attack. It ends with Nakamura doing a back body drop onto Seth Rollins, landing on said chair. Later on in the show, you see Seth hobbling, going to leave. Saxton in his really bad-looking John Waters-esque kind of goatee, asking Seth how's he feeling. Seth pretty much saying, I'm in pain, I'm tired, I'm hurting, but that's not going to stop me. Shin, listen, whatever you want, I'm going to throw the ball in your corner. You want a match, you got it. You name the time, you name the place. Hell, you can even name the stipulations. We'll do it. Talk to me when you're ready. Basically. So, yeah. Next up, we got Shayna Baszler and Zoey Stark. Whew, Zoey. Going against Piper Niven and Chelsea Green. Okay, maybe not my best impression, but bear with me. Decent match, good action. It came to an end when Nia Jax came up out of nowhere, attacked Piper, so it was a DQ win. And then Nia beat up everyone else, really putting emphasis on Shayna, like sizing her up, like, hi, wham, taking her out, and then doing the bonsai drop, and then, hey, and then yelling into the camera, I'm here to go through this woman's division, I'm going to take out everyone, blah, 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 kind of stuff. So, now, while rumors did also speculate today, or not speculate, but stuff has been going around all day as of the day of this recording. Jade Cargill, formerly of AEW, emphasis on formerly because her contract expired, is down in Orlando and ready to sign with NXT at the Performance Center. A lot of people are saying they want her on the main roster right away. I would say, honestly, that's a bad idea. I'd say let her get some time at the Performance Center because while she's oozing with charisma and can work, she even said in several interviews, she's not fully comfortable yet. And she even brought it up. Bryan Danielson wasn't comfortable until he was, I think, about a year or so into the business before he was fully comfortable in the ring. And she's only been active for just over a year or so and not as regular as you would expect. It's not like touring regularly. Excuse me, but either way, let her get time in NXT. Let her learn, let her grow, let her groom. That way, not only that, the coaches down there, they can go and see what they got to work with. Be like, okay, emphasize and do the old Paul Heyman trick. Accentuate the positives, downplay the negatives. Point I'm getting at, though, is a lot of people are wanting Jade to come in and bury Nia right away. I don't want that. I don't want that. Honestly, what I want Nia to be a fucking unstoppable beast to the point to where Becky Lynch or an Asuka or even have Nia go down to NXT to then get beat by Jade. Have something like that happen. That's just me. But either way. Next up we got Chad Gable going against Bronson Reed, and this came to be because Chad was in back talking to Pierce, asking for another shot against Gunther in the Intercontinental Championship. Reed came and said, whoa, hold on there, short stuff. You've had chance after chance after chance after chance after chance. And after disappointing your family and making your children and having your children cry on national television from losing, paraphrasing all this, mind you, how about you let somebody else have a shot? Yeah, how about I kick your ass? Like to see you try. Watch when I suplex you. You ain't gonna suplex me. So now we come to here. Reed pretty much was running through Gable. He was leading through it the entire time. Again, like seeing a 12-year-old going against Mike Tyson in his prime. Gable, he picked up a small little bit of momentum post-break, but much to no avail. Bronson Reed got the win doing the tsunami splash on him. Next up, we got Becky Lynch coming out doing an open challenge for her newly won, as of last week, NXT Women's Championship. Really great to see. And let me say this about that. That was a great match between Becky and Tiffany Stratton. And personally, what I'd like to see happen now is keep Tiffany off of TV. Keep her off TV. Keep her off the live show loops. Don't put her on TV, whether it's NXT or WWE. None of that altogether. Just let her spend between now and Royal Rumble just in the Performance Center, working out, sharpening every other skill that she's got. She's already at razor point. But let her get even sharper between now and Rumble, and then have her debut at Rumble, and then night after Rumble, have her make main roster debut. That's just me personally, what I'd like to see. Moving forward though, Becky Lynch comes out with her newly won NXT Women's Championship, goes and issues a open challenge for anyone in the back. Out comes Natalya saying on how she wants a shot, she deserves a shot, and Becky just saying like, listen, Natty, listen. We've known each other for years. We would go back to wrestling each other as teenagers in Japan, but I was kind of doing this more so to just bring up some up-and-comer talent, you know? Not seasoned vets like you, if you don't mind. And then Becky gets all sort of mad, or not Becky, Natalya gets all sort of mad. Excuse me? Whoa. Is that not what you just did? Did you or did you not last week go down to NXT and take that same spot from up-and-coming talent? You ain't nothing more but a damn hypocrite. And then throws a slap, and then they go and proceed to the match. And honestly, listen, Natalya, I want to make sure I say this right. I'm not impressed with her. In-ring skills, she's fucking phenomenal. There is no doubt about that. You look at her pedigree. Yeah, she's great in the ring. But personality-wise, for the love of God, the paint on this wall has more charisma. I mean, the only heart I've ever seen that had charisma was Owen. That's it. Brett did not have a lot of charisma, in my opinion. None of the other Harts did, really. And I'm not talking about Jim or Davey Boy, because I'm talking about blood. I'm talking about Harts by blood. The only one that I ever seen that did by blood, the only Hart that I ever saw that had charisma was fucking Owen. Owen! He was the only one. And God, just... it's just... yeah. Not only that, it seems like she has no originality. I mean, you can't make an argument saying that you want different kind of music. You don't want to have the same music as your uncle. You have to have the same finisher as your uncle. You have to have the same mannerisms. You have to do certain things like your dad. Like, I mean, listen, I get it. You want to have some traits from past family members. Like, Randy Orton does a superplex just like Cowboy Bob Orton. You know? The Rock. You know, well, Rock, he originally came out. Rocky Maivia, just like great Chief Peter Maivia. But, good God. Be yourself, not your family name. Just, ugh. Anyways, as far as the match went, it was decent back and forth with Becky getting the win when they were going back and forth trading roll-ups, and Becky got the winning roll-up. Next up, we got Giovanni Vinci going against Tommaso Ciampa. Excuse me. And this was due to Ciampa pretty much saying he's got his eyes locked on a target, and that is Gunther and his Intercontinental Championship. So he's going to systematically go and target all of Imperium. He's going to target Giovanni, then Ludwig Keiser, until he can get the Gunther and that title. So as far as this match went, Vinci, he was leading the pace and the flow. Ciampa started building up some momentum. And then eventually the match came to an end when Ciampa did a jumping knee to the face when Vinci came off the ropes and then put in the submission. They call it the Sicilian stretch. And Vinci tapped out. You could hear Keiser scolding Vinci in German, just like, ooh, man, wish I would have learned the language so I could know what he was saying. So now we come to main event of the night. Jey Uso versus Drew McIntyre. Drew leading throughout the match. Judgment Day came out ringside watching. This was, and one thing I want to point out. Yeah, easy for me to say. Damn it, get your words right. One thing I want to say that picked up on was how the commentators were emphasizing on how McIntyre was the world champion during a dark era in WWE when there were no fans. It was in the Performance Center era. And, you know, they wanted fans, but they couldn't. And now when Drew had his chance to be a world champion in front of fans, it was halted by the Bloodline and the Usos and Solo and all that jazz. And it drove and it pissed off McIntyre something fierce. And he is one of many, many guys in the back that do not trust or like Jey Uso being there. And match came to an end when, near the end, excuse me, McIntyre's down, Jay's down on the corner, sitting on the floor of the ring, arms on the bottom ropes. Judgment Day out there encouraging them. You know, like I said, they've been doing that recruitment drive on them, trying to say, "Yeah, you got this, Uso. You got this. Come on, come on. You got this." Then we go home. Then we get our answer. You with us? You know, encouraging them. And Jay just looking like, "All right, all right." Then he gets up. You see Priest get up then on the apron, encouraging him, and then bam, pops Jay pops Priest with a super kick, and bam, pops Finn, and bam, pops Dominik. Pops all three of them down. Turns around and wham! Walks right into a Claymore. 1, 2, 3. Ding, ding, ding. Your winner, Drew McIntyre. You see that? And then Drew, looking all annoyed like, man, you should have just fucking stayed home today, kid. Had that kind of a look on his face. And then walked off. And as he's walking off, then Judgment Day's proceeding to go and give him a stare down, looking down at him. You stupid son of a bitch. McIntyre just looking like, oh no, you guys ain't gonna. And then they proceeded to do a 3-on-1 beatdown on him. And McIntyre looking all sorts of mad like, you know, I should do something, but nope, not gonna. And then just starts going. Cody then eventually comes out to save the day. Excuse me. Clears out, helps save Jay. Gets Dominik out of the ring. Takes care of Priest, then Balor, and then yeah. So the show ends with Cody and Jey Uso standing tall, which honestly makes sense considering Cody went out of his way and cashed in a lot of poker chips to get Jey on the show. So, with that said, folks, that is it for this week's show. So please don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, go back watch some of the episodes when you can. Look for me on the Twitter at Tim Vicious. Also on that Threads gimmick Tim Vicious. Trying to be on there a little bit more than I normally have been. Thank you to my executive producer, Ali Ray Ben, who did provide the music for this week's show. Make sure y'all check it out. It's on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, SoundCloud, all that good shit. The details are down below. Also, make sure you check out contributor show LFC Lingerie Fighting Championship. There are a little bit of wrestling, MMA, and a whole lot of attractive women learn a little bit of nothing. Folks, LFC is on Tubi now, so you literally, it can cost $0 to support them, so go support them. And also, go check out whatamaneuver.net for some Vicious Rants apparel. Help support the show. Thank you to those that did help support for my son's birthday this past weekend. And folks, I got a kid, I got Christmas coming up. Perfect gifts for people that you love, people that you hate, or just a shirt that you want to get to give to Goodwill. They also got tanks, hoodies, onesies, women's shirts, men's shirts, unisex shirts. And do not forget to follow these cool ass cats right on the Twitter. Kenny Killer DSP_RV. Diabolical RA Surgeon Curry Pants and Dubs in your face. And folks, like I always tell y'all, you love me great, you hate me. Fuck this.